Good evening, friends, neighbors, and my fellow Nigerians. I call you fellow Nigerians because all of us that call ourselves Nigerians, we are embedded under a contraption called Nigeria. Good afternoon once again, and my name is Dr. Omoumilawal. I'm a resident in the United States of America. How I wish I could be as comfortable, as relaxed, and optimistic as I am in the United States of America, and feel like that also in my country. Don't be mistaken. I was born, bred, had my secondary education in Nigeria before I came to the United States to study. And for reason unknown to me, I was in awe of Nigeria at that time. I have spent close to 47 years in America, but I never for once was enamored by the United States of America. I wanted to come back to Nigeria. And immediately I finished my master's degree as far back as 1983. I wanted to come back home so bad. I wanted to come back so bad that I left my ex-husband here in the United States and came home with my only son at that time because I was so eager to come and work in Nigeria, to come and demonstrate all of our land, all of our acquired in terms of knowledge and wisdom. But unfortunately, I was grossly disappointed. Grossly disappointed to the point that when I was working in First Bank, I thought it's a disciplined organization. An organization that within 10 years, if I'm not a manager, I'm going to be an AGM because I know my mettle. I know what I can do. And I know that I'm a disciplined individual. I know what I'm worth, both intellectually and in performance. Probably was recognized by the clients, the customers that I dealt with. They all knew me as a no-nonsense person. But I was deeply disappointed by the administration, by the leadership, by the so-called people that are supposed to be leading. They are not leading. I can hardly point to useful leaders, few useful leaders while I was in the bank and overall in the country. Now that's just a synopsis of who I am. Right now, I'm teetering to the 70. I'll be 70 years old in another few months. Yes. And I'm still in America. What am I doing in America? It's unfortunate that in the last 25 years, I've been battling terminal illnesses. I didn't say illness. I said illnesses. But to the glory of the Lord, because I delight myself in the Lord, because of the plenteous mercy of God, I am alive today. I would not like to give you the whole 9 yards. Is it cancer? Is it brain tumor? Is it diabetes? I got all of them. And even before then, I've had more than 2 surgeries. So if you add the cancer issue, I've had more than 6 surgeries on this body. But to the glory of God, I'm still alive because there's a mission for me. Did you hear what I said? There is a mission, even though every one of us has been given different missions. But my mission is to be alive and speak my truth to power. I never knew I'm going to be involved in talking about politics, socio-economic issues. But I found myself here because of the situation we Nigerians are facing. I'm not going to go into the trajectory of how we got to this point, that contraption we call Nigeria. But in the last 1 week, let me just address the nonsense, the abomination that is going on right now in that space we call Nigeria. Intelligentias, educated elite, the governors, the politicians, senators, or whatever you call yourself, and you believe you have the sensibility, the common sense, the understanding, then move closer. Move closer to hear what I have to say, because I'm not joking. In the last 3-4 days, it was announced that the ex-president Muhammadu Buhari died in a clinic in England. And when they brought his body to Nigeria, it was buried. Not only that, if you are all a truth to yourself and to your conscience and to your soul, shouldn't you be worrying why no nation sent any condolences? We didn't receive any condolence from our neighbors, the Ghanaians, the Sierra Leoneans, the Burkina Faso, other African nations, not to talk of the international countries like US, like London, Austria, Germany, Canada. None of these nations sent any condolence to the country or to the head of state of Nigeria. Ahmed Bola Tinubu, the president of the amalgamated, dilapidated, encapsulated, oppressed nation called Nigeria. Fellow Nigerians, if we are not dumb, if we are not stupid, we are still within our cerebral acuity. We will realize that few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, the man held in prison, Nnamdi Kanu, mentioned several times that the ex-president Muhammad Buhari died in London on February 19, 2017, and he was buried in Saudi Arabia. None of you that call yourself leaders in Nigeria went for the veracity of this statement. The government did not accuse Nnamdi at that time to prove. There wasn't any research to accept or to nullify the statement that this man made. It was swept under the carpet, and life continued in Nigeria until this July 13, 2025. And when it was posted that the ex-president died on July 13th, the honorable wife, that's why women, the ones that are good among us, who will stand for truth, Aisha Buhari came out on her Instagram post platform and said, the man that you brought from England was not my husband. My husband died in year 2017. These antics, these shenanigans is for you Nollywood people. That was not my husband. I was expecting somebody to say, this is the face of your husband. Why will you deny it? Nobody said anything. And from our understanding, from what had been coming out, we also understood that Aisha Buhari had divorced her husband prior to his death. Probably because there's a lot that was going on at that time. We don't know. And we probably don't want to know. Buhari is a Muslim. He can have as many wives as he desired. That's one of the tenets of Islam. He can have 4 wives. Bangladesh. At any rate, when that 2017 death occurred, it was swept under the rug. And I understand by just simple intelligence that Yemi Osinbajo was complicit in this. Probably because he was afraid that they might kill him. It was part of the manipulation, the lies, the deceit. The cabal had to replace the dead Muhammad Buhari with a man called Jubril from Sudan. And from what we've heard, it was understood that Jubril couldn't continue with it. And then another person was brought in again to replace. So that the 8-year term, that is the 2 terms of the Fulani reign, will continue, which ended in May 29, 2023, when the Jagaban, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, took over. But my people, my supposed intelligent politicians, people of real cerebral acuity, of understanding, you all knew, most of you knew that Buhari actually died in year 2017, but you kept mum. You are also compromised. You're compromised. You're complicit. You are accessory after the fact. And that is why I'm coming out this afternoon. That if we really have serious thinking, godly, righteous people in that country, that encapsulated nation, it's not a nation, it's a country. Conglomerate nations are embedded under that contraption called Nigeria. You should start asking questions. I know Akpabio will never raise an eyebrow because he's already sold his soul. You ought to know that the reason why they did not want Yemi Osinbajo to take over like Ebele Jonathan took over from disease Yaradua, even though it took some time, protracted time, almost 3 months before Goodluck Jonathan or Jonathan Goodluck was allowed to reign as the president. But when it came to Buhari, the cabal, in collusion with Bola Tinubu Ahmed, I say it with my full chest, it was not just the cabal. I understood that Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the current president, orchestrated this aberration. This is a man that said he believed in democracy. Bola Tinubu is not a democrat. He's a dictator, a totalitarian, a despot. He engineered this because he did not want Yemi Osinbajo to rule for that 6 years to complete the 8 year. That is the 2 terms that Buhari will have fulfilled. And he brought out this agenda. And that's why they found somebody to replace Buhari. So that at the end of Buhari's reign, Emilokon will vie for that seat. Those of you that pretend, or you have pretended earlier that you don't know what had gone down, you are hearing now. Bola Tinubu is a mafia-minded man. He knew what he was doing. He was the orchestrator, the manipulator of the agenda to look for someone. And you know there are many plastic ways of designing somebody else's face. That technology is there. Somebody that will look like Buhari, even though I suspected that Jibril or whoever that was looking much younger than his age. But you can only fool people, few people at a time. You can fool a lot of people for some time. But nobody can fool everybody. Tinubu Bola Ahmed, you cannot fool 240 million. At the same time, we are not that stupid. Yes, a lot of us have become impotent observers. There are a lot of cowardice going on. A lot of us are scared stiff, are scared crow. We are yellow-livered because a lot of people are afraid to die untimely. I don't blame them, but I've come to a position, I've reached a position in my life that death is a necessary end, but it's not my turn. I am not ready to die. I am going to speak my truth to power. I know people are saying, this girl is too bold for their liking. She thinks she knows how to talk. No, I don't know how to talk, but I'm going to still speak my truth to power. If you don't like it, that is your cup of tea. Truth is the only thing that is constant. Truth is constant. Any way you slice it, if it is the truth, it will still stand. And I'm going to keep on saying my truth. All you maribot, millionaires, politicians, governors, yes, I know you will try to pummel me, but it's not my time. I'm not dying now, because the Lord told me so. As far back as 3 days ago, I got a message from God. Say, hey, they want you dead, oh, but I'm going to lift you up out of the dungeon. I'm going to renew you and perfect you so that you can still talk for me. I didn't choose to genuflex like Benumisita. This is what God wants me to do. And I'm going to do it because I'm not afraid of 10,000 men. So I'm not ready to die. So forget about it. Put that aside. I'm still young. I just told you, I'm not 70 yet. Few months I'll be 70. But that does not diminish either my mindset, my intelligence, my boldness, or the wisdom that God has given me. Politicians, people of common sense, people with integrity and honesty, godliness and righteousness, if you are in that country, shouldn't you be asking questions? How can this happen in a nation that you call a democratic institution? So I'm telling you what you should be doing now. Mr. Osinbajo, Yemi Osinbajo, whether they cornered you, they put a gun to your head, you are complicit. You knew that the man you were dealing with in Aso Rock 2017 February was not Buhari. You knew, but you are so scared still. You are a cowardice. You sold your destiny. You single-handedly sold your own destiny where God wanted to place you, because the cabal knew you would do a good job. And I knew that too, because I still think you have some level of decency. You're not as wicked and atrocious and violent like Mr. Tinubu. Mr. Tinubu is a wicked man, ungodly man, unrighteous man, a totalitarian, and a despot. So the cabal knew, but Bola Ahmed Tinubu had a more dastardly agenda. And that is why he concocted this concoction. The concoction that somebody else must take the place of Buhari for the next 6 years to complete the 8 years, so that he will have the opportunity to rule after the 8 years. And that's exactly what has happened. So if you all call yourself Democrats in that space called the amalgamated, encapsulated, deficit country called Nigeria, you should start having banners all over the country. Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you must resign. You must resign, because what you did with the cabal is nothing short of treason. Treason. Total disrespect for the rule of law and for the constitution of what you call the Republic of Nigeria. So, you that you call yourself politicians, Akpabio, you are the president of the Senate, but I doubt if you have the guts to do it. But the rest of the senators in that assembly, if you know what you are doing, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu must be charged for treason. If fine, not guilty, fine. But there's supposed to be a litigation right now. Either he resigns. If he does not resign, he needs to be litigated for treason, fraud, and anything that the legal apparatus of the country can heap on his crazy mental head. Mr. Femi Falana, SAN, where are you? If you didn't know, 8 years ago that Buhari died and was buried in Saudi Arabia, now you are hearing it. When Nnamdi Kanu said it, you all turned deaf ears. Now you are hearing from me. You can sue me if you want to. I don't bloody care. How many people have you sued for treason? This is the main treason. Treason happening in front of everybody. The international organizations and countries knew that ex-President Muhammadu Buhari died in February 2017 and was buried in Saudi Arabia. Even Queen Elizabeth II commiserated with Nigeria at that time. But they distracted every Nigerian. And they kept going as if nothing happened. Now we are saying, if Nigeria is actually, which I know it is not, but you can tell the world that you're a democratic country, Tinubu should resign or be charged for treason. He has committed treason because he knew about the death of Buhari. He orchestrated the replacement of Jibril of Sudan to take over the presidency, the sovereignty of Nigeria. for 6 years. You are not going to get away with this scot-free, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You are supposedly a wanted man for treason. Allegedly, you are supposed to be a man who knew that the person that was handing over to you on that May 2023 was not Buhari. You knew, because you orchestrated the whole charade, the entire shenanigans was your child's play. And the rest of you in Nigeria, in governance or presidency, you ought to stand up if you still have guts left. If you still have your cerebral alive and alert. If you still think you are democratic minded, if you still think you have dignity and integrity, and you want to stand for the truth, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, has committed treason. 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 And the entire legal apparatus in Nigeria should start filing all kinds of legal papers. This president must face treason, or he must resign. And resigning will not obviate him from facing the music. Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are complicit in the deceit that happened in year 2017. You knew about it, you orchestrated it, and all the other apparatus that were involved. You are not going to get away that easy. You are not. You are not. You have all committed fraud, treason, acted against the constitution of that encapsulated, amalgamated country, against the rule of law in that country. So, SAN Afe Babalola, are you listening? Do you see what is happening in that space called Nigeria? This is more than a breach of the law. This is a slap on the entire constitution of Nigeria. Even if it's a warped constitution. Femi Falana, Baba SAN. You are supposed to be a constitutional lawyer. And all the constitutional lawyers in Nigeria, this is your time, your moment to shine, to prove your mettle, to prove your prowess, because you have seen a case that should separate the boys from the men. This is a case that the entire world would like to see what you can do. They have said that we are brilliant, we are intelligent, we are wise people. Then show me that we're not a bunch of ragamuffins. Show me that all of you are not a bunch of non-entities. Show me that you can stand and be counted as men of integrity and honesty. But if you fail to do so, if all fail to do so, because you're all afraid to lose your livelihood, to lose your life untimely, then I'll say we have no men, we have no lawyers, we have no men of integrity, and we have no men that fear God. You have no men that consider their posterity in Nigeria. It is an unfortunate thing that every extraction is still embedded under the amalgamated, encapsulated, decadent country called Nigeria. If we are together and this is happening, imagine what will happen if we're separate. This will never happen. If Mr. Tinubu, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, happen to come over to Yoruba Nation and he does what he just did, it won't go down well. Oh. Whatever it takes, it will take. Whoever is who will be who. Whatever needs to be done will be done. And whoever needs to face the consequence will face it square and pure. But even then, if we say we're in a country of intelligentsias, of educated individuals, lawyers, doctors, engineers, name it, we have it in Nigeria, and you're all keeping mums because you do not want to die. Because you don't want to face the barrel of the gun. You want to live under this dying moment, because we are in a dying moment. We are being killed on a daily basis by the abomination, by the aberration that is going on in that contraption called Nigeria. And you all want to keep mums. You are going to die ignominy. Most of you are going to die shamefully. Many of you will die disgracefully. Because God is watching. Did you hear me? God is watching you individually in that country and waiting to see who will have the guts, who will be bodacious enough to stand up and say each truth to power, who will be big enough to challenge this autocratic man called Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of the Nigerian country. Since you're all going around eulogizing, giving accolades here and there about Buhari, what are the international countries? When did they send their condolences? To whom did they send it to? And how come Aisha Buhari was not present at her husband's burial? Can we be that stupid? Are we that gullible? Do you all think you can just rubbish our common sense and think we're that daft, that we're that moronic, we will not be able to reason? What are you taking us for? What are you taking us for? That can shut us down because you have the barrel of the gun, or you have the money, you have the power, you have goons and hooligans that can deal with us, even though you have all those. We know you have all those. That's your forte. So nobody should be afraid of what you can do. We already know what you can do when we accuse you. But stand up and face us. Come out, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and tell us you have nothing to do with this. Mr. Yemi Osinbajo, you knew you're supposed to take over since year 2017, but they must have threatened you, and you are a coward. Because if you speak out, you can take a trip and announce that Buhari is dead. Because you are afraid yellow-livered, impotent observer, and you lost an opportunity to rule. Probably your chance of ruling could have set this country straight in the last probably 8 years. And you allowed Tinubu to railroad you because he brought you to Tinubu. That I even thought it was an insult. A PhD working under a non-entity. That speaks volumes. But you did. And we all saw how they treated you like a nobody. But I haven't seen that. I haven't been degraded. I haven't been insulted. Haven't your sensibilities been pushed aside, been inconsidered? When Buhari died in 2017, that should have been the last bus stop for you. That is when you should have come out and said, yes, I have taken a lot of nonsense, a lot of flax, but this, I'm not going to take it. Mr. Buhari is dead. Whether you want me to take over as the Constitution stipulates or not, I would love to say this. But the totalitarian Bola Ahmed Tinubu shut you down. And you are supposed to be a pastor. Where is your anointing for boldness? Where is your anointing, Pastor Yemi Osinbajo? The anointing that God placed upon you to speak your truth to power. Where was it at that time? And even right now, where is it? You still cannot come out and say your truth to power. You still cannot come out. And you want respect. You want us to dignify you. Not only as ex-vice president, but as a man of God. As a lawyer with a PhD. I don't want to say highest dummy of the land. Person with the highest dumb brain. And yet you have a PhD. That's what it translates to. Person with high So, Mr. Yemi Osinbajo, I know they railroaded you. I know they intimidated you. But that's a Bangladesh before the rule of law. You are also complicit. You are also complicit. I know they threatened you. Like if you don't go along with us, you'll be dead. And I know you don't want to die at that time. So you went along with it. You went along with it. Your destiny being rubbished. Rubbished to the dustbin. Maybe for once, within that 6 years, you could have revolutionized the economy, social injustice, inequity, untimely nonsense, death, genocide that was going on 8 years ago in that country. Maybe you could have been the Messiah God wanted to place there. That's why Buhari spent only 2 years for you to take over the rest of the 6 years. But you permitted, you compromised your integrity. And therefore, you lost your destiny to a deadly hyena. Mr. Pastor, Dr. Yemi Osinbajo, you lost your destiny. For a brief moment of 6 years, you could have turned over Nigeria to a better country. You see what happened now? We have genocide all over Nigeria. So who orchestrated that? Was that Jibril of Sudan, the cabal, in collusion with Tinubu? That's why, Mr. Tinubu, you never said anything concerning the killings all over Nigeria. Because you do not want the truth to come out. But truth has a way of escaping. It's like a vapor. It's like a smoke. No matter how much you try to hide it, it will escape. It escaped. It escaped. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban of Bodilon, Jaga rubbish of Nigeria. You have polluted that country. You are a menace. You are a disgrace. And unfortunately, you are a Yoruba man. Kò sí ọmọlúwàbí kankan lára yín. Adójútì ní àgbàlagbà níyín, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, supposed president of Nigeria. You are a disgrace. You are a disgrace to us. So tell your witches, your maribot, your whatever, to try and pummel me. It will not happen. Because God says He's behind me as a mighty warrior. Did you hear me? My time is not yet. That's what God said. He would deliver me from all of you. I know you are angry. But I'm going to keep on speaking my truth to power until God says it's time. I am not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of 10,000 men. What can you do to me? You're all barking like a crazy dog. You can only bark. You will bite yourself, not me. So, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are going to face the music, whether you like it or not. You have committed treason. You are a fraudster, allegedly, supposedly, or whatever you want to call it. You knew about Buhari's demise as far back as February 2017. You orchestrated these shenanigans that is now unfolding. You are a criminal, allegedly. You are a mafia-minded man. A crazy man with inordinate ambition. When you become a president, what else do you want to become? You want to become Jesus Christ? It will never happen. It will never happen. You have now reached the zenith of your ambition, the president of Nigeria. You want to become an emperor? The only thing left is to join Satan. Join Satan. You know where? That's where you belong. So, my fellow Nigerians, I have to address this particular message in English. So that whether you are from Yorùbá, you are an Hausa, you are an Igbo, Akwa Ibom, Kanuri, Bendel, Delta, you will understand what I'm saying. If you're all in that space called Nigeria, and you have not raised any litigation against this treason committed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the current president of the country. He has accessories, though. There are accessories after the fact. But Bola Ahmed Tinubu is an accessory before and after the fact. And if you're all just watching because you don't want to topple the cart, you're all watching, you don't want to fight Mr. Tinubu, you are all going to die one by one in shame and in disgrace. Because Tinubu can go after you one at a time. So go after him now. I know the judiciary is already bought. I know Akpabio is the president of The Senate is a coward, is a lackey, is an ass kisser of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Akpabio, you are an ass kisser. You have a case to answer, even in Akwa Ibom. All the stolen, fraudulent money that you stole, you are going to account for it. Allegedly, you are a thief. Allegedly, you are a looter of treasury, Akpabio. Allegedly, supposedly, probably. And as far as Wike is concerned, another ranting mad dog. Another ranting crazy mad dog. I don't know whatever we have done in that country that warrant us being visited by this crazy group of menace. This is a damn shame. Unfortunate thing that as big as that country is, we cannot boast of 10 decent, upright, truthful, honest men of integrity. They're all parading in the corridors of power, but they're also eating with the ox in the midnight. Parading with Agbada, Babariga in the corridor of power. But at night, they are Satan agents, mischievous miscreants, and they think we are fools. We are not. You're all going to dig your own grave individually or probably collectively. Because what is going to go down in that country is going to shock and shock all of you, these malevolent people. It will shock you. It will shock some people because a lot is going to happen in that space. A lot of you will go to jail and they will throw away the keys. A lot of you, mysteriously, the hand of God will just take you away. Are you listening to me? Some of you will end up in jail, whether you believe it or not. And some of you will just poof by the mighty hands of God. And as for you young ones that these miscreants are using, the election is coming. I do not expect any young man or young woman for that matter to lose your common sense and come out for these people. They have turned you into Yahoo boys. They have turned you into scammers. They have turned into 419, and you are not fighting for your right. You rather take 2 million, 3 million from them and do their dirty biddings. Is that the way you want to spend the rest of your life? Their children are all spread all over United States, London, Canada, Australia, living in mansions, and yet you cannot get a decent job. And when they give you this job, they give you a peanut. And you're living in penury, in abject poverty and lack. And yet, you are still following these useless politicians that are using your lives like a basketball, like a yo-yo, going up and down. Is that what you want to use the rest of your life for? When your age mates are all over the world performing wonders and miracles. So if you allow these useless politicians to use you, they will use you, dump you, or probably buy you after they use you. If you allow them to use you because you're hungry now, instead of getting up and fighting and demanding for your right, if you allow them to use you, they will use you, get rid of you afterwards. So my advice for you is to start gathering yourself and start litigating. Litigate, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is complicit. He's an accessory before and after the fact that the ex-president Mahmoud Buhari died in 2017 and was kept under the rugs. Tell them that we Yorubas will not take it lying down. We will not, because we are not afraid to speak our truth to power. We will not. Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu Omolodode, nígbànú dákẹ́ tẹ́ bá rò pé tí kí gbogbo orí ọmọ Yorùbá sínú àpò yín, mo sọ fún yín ní ọ̀sán yìí pẹ̀lú agbára àti ògo Ọlọ́run pé irọ́ lẹ pa. Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, èmi ọmọ Wùmí, ọmọ Jàrin Àtù, ọmọ Ibrahim Adéyẹmí ni mo bá yín sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú ògo Ọlọ́run, pẹ̀lú agbára àṣẹ Ọlọ́run. Ìpẹ́tẹ́ bá lè kí orí wa bọnú àpò yín, àti jáde o. Àti jáde, àti jáwé ọlọ́fẹ̀gbéra. Ìkòkò kò ní gbẹ̀yìn kó tún bomi o. Nǹkan kan lè máa mú dání. Either kẹ́ lọ resign. Kẹ́ jáde ní wọ́rọ́wọ́rọ́, kẹ́ lọ spend the billions and trillions yín ní France. Or you will face the music. You will face the music. Baba Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Face the music yẹn. Tẹ́ bá ní ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ gbọ́n, màá sọ fún yín pé wọ́n ṣe gbọ́n lé ọkọ náà gbọ́n lé àlè. Ẹ lè wá sọ wá dọ lórí burúkú kalẹ̀ torí pé inordinate ambition ti yín. Ẹ fẹ́ fi báyé ẹgbẹgbẹ̀rún millions àwọn èèyàn jẹ́. Èmi ò mọ̀ tẹ́ gbójúlé o, but kí n tẹ́ bá gbójúlé. Ọlọ́run kápá ẹ o. Ọlọ́run ló ń pè ní alágbá kábíkábí. Ọlọ́run kápá bí yín bàbá Tinubu. Ọlọ́run kápá yín bàbá Tinubu. Ẹ ń dún mọ̀rún mọ́ wa bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé yín lọ́lọ́run. Kí lẹ gbé, kí lẹ jù. Kí lẹ rí lọ́bẹ̀ tẹ́ ń wá orí sọ́wọ́ gan bàbá Tinubu. Ó máa jọ ọdún mẹ́jọ iná lọ ni. Tọ́lọ̀ ń bá lẹ́ máa dé orí àpèrè yẹn, ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹ débẹ̀. Tẹ́ ń fi pátì kúkú tẹ́ fi ń débẹ̀. Ẹ ti gba disgrace nísìnyí. Kò sẹ́ńtọ́ mú rí yín sìn. Criminal náà rí yín sí. Bó tẹ̀ jẹ́ allegedly. Bàbá ńlá criminal. Gbogbo ọpọlọ yín. Crime ló ń lọ ń bẹ̀. Up and down, up and down. Ẹ ń balẹ̀ ayé jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ọgbọ́n burúkú. Ẹ ń balẹ̀ ayé jẹ́ bàbá Tinubu. Inú yín dẹ̀ ń dùn. Ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ yín ti bàjẹ́, ó ti rà, ó ti ṣìdín. Ṣé ti rí? Ẹlẹ́fẹ́ bá yé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá jẹ́, ẹ fún wọn níṣẹ́. Ẹ wo bí ayé ọmọ yín ṣe rí. Àbíbàtì yín ṣe wòṣì tó ń ṣe ní New York. Àbíbàtì yín dààmú ọlá bàbá Tinubu. Ó ti dà kíṣẹ́ ẹlẹ́gbin sí yín lọ́rùn. Bàbá Tinubu o. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of Nigeria, ẹ̀ ń dojú ti wà. Nǹkan tí mi wà mọ̀ tí mi lè sọ sí ni pé ṣé ọmọ Yorùbá gidi ni yín ṣá? Àbẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ àlè tó ń fọwọ́ òsì júwèlé bàbá ńlá bàbá wọn. Ṣé ọmọ Yorùbá ni yín? Tàbá wí tó wá ní ká má sọ̀rọ̀. Tá bá sọ̀rọ̀ kí lẹ fẹ́ ṣe? Kí lẹ máa ṣe ju nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe yìí náà lọ? Àmọ́ ṣe yín. Ẹ go ahead kẹ́ lọ ṣe. Kẹ́ wá wo bí agbára Ọlọ́run ṣe ń bá tì. Ẹ máa jáyà. Kí lẹ lè ṣe? Ẹ lè ṣe mẹ́wàá. torí Ọlọ́run tó dá yín ó kápá yín. Ẹgbọ́n tí mo sọ fún yín bàbá Tinubu, Ọlọ́run tó dá yín ó kápá yín. Ọlọ́run tó dá Buhari tó lóun máa yànnà náà wá, Ọlọ́run ti bá wa yànnà náà ẹ̀. Táyìn gan bá kọjá àyè yín, ọlọ́wọ́ gbọgbọrọ tó ń yọ ọmọ ẹ̀nú òfin, ọlọ́wọ́ gbọgbọrọ tó gbé fẹ́rò tó sọ sínú omi òkun pupa, ọlọ́wọ́ gbọgbọrọ tó mú Adolf Hitler tó commit suicide, tó mú Ahitofeli tó pokùnso, tó sọ Nebuchadnezzar sínú igbó tó ń jẹ ewéko, òun náà ni Ọlọ́run tó dá yín. Tẹ́ bá kọjá àyè yín. Bàbá Tinubu, ẹ wò mí dáadáa. Ọmọ Yorùbá pọ́nbélé ni mí. Kò sí tẹ́lẹ̀ fi mí ṣe. Mi ilẹ̀ ní try o. But ẹ bọ́ lọ́hùn. Ẹ bá Ọlọ́run mi lórí ìjókòó tó ń dúró dè. Gbogbo ń tẹ́ bá mọ̀ ṣe kẹ́ lọ ṣe. Àmọ́ ń tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe. Bàbá Tinubu, àmọ́ ń tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe nìkọ́lẹ̀ tí ń ṣe. Ẹ ké sí àwọn MC Olúọmọ yín kó máa wá wá kiri. Àwọn Kókó Zaria yín. Ó jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ni. Ẹ pa àwọn maribot yín. Àwọn aláàfáà yín. Àwọn babaláwo yín tẹ́ gbójúlé. Ìjọ́ tó bá rọ̀ regina ṣe wọ́n á jóná bí gúgúrú. Oníṣègùn tẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì wọ́n á pé kò ní dáhùn. Bíbélì ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá péjọ nítorí tiwa, torí pé aláàfẹ́ lọ, ẹ fẹ́ kàkà lọ, ẹ máa kú fún wa ni o. Bíbélì ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó láwọn tó dájọ́ tó kójọ wà lórí Isaiah 55 verse 13. Tó fẹ́ ṣe wá ní jàmbá. Ọlọ́run náà wá pa wọ́n fún wa ni o. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ti sọ lórí Exodus chapter 22 verse 22 to 24. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pa wá lẹ́kún. Tẹ́ sọ wá di àgbàdo núgò tẹ́ mú jẹ lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Ọlọ́run ní bínú máa dìde sí yín o. Òun á pa yín ni. Ọlọ́run ló lóun pa yín o, kì í ṣe mi. Èmi ò lágbára tí mo fẹ́ fi pa yín. N tí mo lè sọ náà nìyẹn. I will speak my truth to power. Ṣùgbọ́n Ọlọ́run ló wọ́n á pa yín. Tẹ́ bá lè ní fi wá lọ́rùn lẹ̀, ẹ̀yin gan arúgí oyin. Ẹ rúgí oyin bàbá Tinubu. Tẹ́ bá ní ọ̀run tí wà lẹ fẹ́ gbé ẹsẹ̀ lé, tẹ́ sọ wá di George Floyd of America. Ẹ kọjọgbọ́n nìyẹn o. Ẹ fẹ́ kọjọgbọ́n nìyẹn bàbá Tinubu. Àwa gan ò ní ìgbà, a ti mọ̀ pé ẹ fẹ́ fún wa lódindi. A ní ìgbà ní kọ́tà lọ́wọ́ yín. Àjọ máa wọ ṣòkòtò kan náà ni. Ibi tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fà wá, àjọ máa lọ ni. Ẹ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni o. A dá fún yín kẹ́ lọ resign. Ẹ ti lọ ọdún méjì. Ẹ lọ ná billions yín ní France. Kẹ́tì ẹ lọ lùkù. Like almost 70 instead of 90 tẹ́ jẹ́. Bí àwọn àtọ́ máa fún yín lóríṣiríṣi exotic serum. Ẹ jí padà. Instead of Agama, Aisha tẹ́ gbé dání. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá gidi. And my other extractions embedded under the amalgamated, encapsulated, terrorized, genocide country called Nigeria. You have heard me begin your litigation. Start your legal papers and file one against Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu for treason and fraud. For treason and fraud. If President Trump can be sued, anybody else in the world is not above the law. Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are not above the law. You might try to circumvent the rule of law, but the law can still come after you. My people, ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá gidi, àwọn tá fẹ́ bá jayé nìyẹn o. Àwọn bàbá yín, torí mi ò lè pè bàbá mi Ọlọ́run ní fún mi ní bàbá bíi bàbá Tinubu. Àwọn bàbá tó ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀, tó láwọn ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀, wọ́n ti filẹ̀ kẹ̀sí di wọn, ṣẹ́ni pé ó ti já. Ẹ̀yin kan máa sọ pé fi wọ́n lẹ̀ kẹ́ka gbàdúrà fún wọn. Tẹ́ bá gbàdúrà fún wọn kò lè mú wọn lórí. àwọn alálẹ̀ ò ní jẹ́ kí àdúrà yẹn gbà nítorí pé kí ni wọ́n ti tẹ ẹ̀jẹ̀ sílẹ̀, wọ́n ti mu ẹ̀jẹ̀, wọ́n ti sunú ẹ̀jẹ̀, wọ́n ti wẹ̀nú ẹ̀jẹ̀. Àwa lókùtàn náà fẹ́ fi àwa ló fẹ́ fi ṣe sèrè súyà. Èmi ò ní jẹ́ súyà fẹ́ ní bọ́dì. Mo wálé ayé wá ṣe rere ni, mo dẹ̀ ń ṣe nǹkan tọ́lọ́run ní kí n máa ṣe. Ọlọ́run ti fún mi mandate. I have a mandate from God. N tó fẹ́ kí n ṣe yẹn, I will complete my assignment whether you like it or not, whether it suits you or not. Ọmọ mi Àmọ̀kẹ́ Abíọ́dún, I will complete the mission, the calling God has placed upon my destiny. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá gidi, ẹ láyé tí yín kẹ́ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Àwọn bàbá rádaràdá rédèrèdè yìí, wọ́n fẹ́ fi ayé yín légbodò ni o. Wọ́n fẹ́ ja ayé yín mọ́ ayé tí wọn. Wọ́n ṣe àwọn ọmọ wọn. Wọ́n ń pampa àwọn ọmọ wọn. Wọ́n ń spoil àwọn ọmọ. Wọ́n fẹ́ la gbóngbó mọ́ yín lórí. Torí pé wọ́n fi pé àwọn bàbá yín àti ìyá yín wọn lówó. Wọ́n ń ṣe senator, wọ́n ń ṣe governor, wọ́n ò ní airplane, wọ́n ò ní yáàtì. So ẹ̀yin náà fẹ́ fi ṣèrúbọ. Ẹni kọ́ rí yín kọ́, ẹlẹ́dàá mi kọ́, ẹnikẹ́ni ò ní fi mí rúbọ. Tó máa fẹ́ fi rúbọ, wọ́n bímọ kọ́ mọ́ àwọn ọmọ wọn, kọ́ máa fi àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n rúbọ. Àwọn ló fẹ́ joyè, oyè tó máa báyé lọ kọ́ mọ́ ọmọ wọn. Èní kọ́ dẹ̀ lọ́ ti mọ́ ọmọ wọn. Wọ́n máa mọ́ ọmọ wọn tó tọ́ sí wọn lọ́rùn, kọ́ máa ya wọn, kọ́ fi rúbọ. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹlẹ́ni Jésù ti rúbọ fún mi. Jésù ó ti kú sórí àgbélébù. Mi ò gbọ́dọ̀ tún rúbọ kankan mọ́. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn lọ. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ ìyá mi. Those of you from the extractions in Nigeria, in that amalgamated, encapsulated country, this is your moment. Rise up, all of you. Rise up and litigate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for treason. He needs to answer questions regarding the death of Buhari 8 years ago, and he kept mums. He orchestrated it allegedly. Go after him if you know you are worth the onions called Nigerian. That's all I have for you all. I've said my truth to power. Let the power of God embellish it. Let the blood of Jesus cover it and cover me. I've said my own. Thank you, everyone. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your prayers. I am enjoying every minute when I come out here and I see all of you with your comments. I love it. I appreciate it and I enjoy it. Thank you. You give me the impetus. You give me the courage. And you give me the strength to come out here as often as I do. Thank you so much. And may the Lord bless you. May the peace of God that passes all human understanding, let it surround you, just like the pillar, the wall surround Jerusalem. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. God bless you all. And I love you. Thank you. Bye-bye.